Hello, and here we are on step 10 for the excuse me, for the trailer. The kind of step I've been dreading. That's why there hasn't been a video in a while. What I'm going to probably end up doing is just doing all the videos before I post them up on YouTube, and then I'll come back later on and answer any questions. I'm gonna try over the next couple months here to, if not sooner, try and finish this up, get this instructional set out and move on. So as you can see, I've got all the parts laid out. I've clipped them all off, I've cleaned them all up. What I'm going to do is just build one, and I'll build the rest off of the video just to cut down on time, because they do take a little bit of work. I already built one to see where the problems are going to be, just to give you an idea. And this is technically step 1 of 2, because you build it to this point, then you flip the instructions over and do all the wiring with the cabling that they provide, and then you actually come back and you add a photo etch bracket here and the 2 side brackets here. This gets involved. Like I said, this is what I've been not looking forward to, but I did it. I've got some answers, so we'll go for it. So first thing to note, some of these round cylinder pieces actually are very, I'm going to say very round. They roll everywhere. So if you don't stand them up on end, they will just roll and roll and roll around. I almost lost a piece just because I put it on its side like that. They go. So there is no lock or mechanism or anything. You just put this part P36 down through P3 at this point. You don't have to twist or turn anything, although it does move in there. Just put it in. Now the hard part is the first hard part is you take and you put the spring in here, and that's going to push that down, which is fine. And then you've got to glue this cap right here, and the spring has just enough push on it that it will push this part off. So you've got to glue it, and then you got to kind of hold it on there until it sticks. That is, I mean, it works, but it's annoying. And the hole that's created, and see what I mean, it'll push that part off if you don't hold it. There is glue there, so just got to let it set, get sticky, hold the part. It's not a lot of tension from the spring, because the spring is almost the perfect size, and the spring isn't meant to be under tension right now. It's for later, which I can show you. But yeah. There, it's already starting to hold. So then I put a little bit here and add this part. And as you can see, it's the 2 little attachment points or arms go down, and while I was doing that, this popped up. So expect to spend some time just getting this straight. And what I'll probably do after I do this video is I'll probably just do this first part right here and do all the other 9 or 8 of them that I have to do, just to get past this point, let this all get done, dry, good, and finished, no problem. Now, it seems to be holding enough. One of the tricks I learned with this is to put the cement on one side. I'm going to hold it with this so I can do this better. Put the cement on the contact points on one side. You don't want to put them in the hole, because you want that part movable, as the instructions tell you. But you want some glue in there. You want this to hold together. So hold it like that. And you want it to start to get sticky. Just the very beginnings of getting sticky. Make sure you got this oriented right. Like I said, I know that you can... Okay, so there it's just starting to get sticky enough to where it'll hold together. Take this, put that in at this point now, and then press it together really, really good. Now you've got that in there, but you've got it starting to be glued in. That'll help. Okay? Now that you've got that, another thing is going to help is putting this end piece on. So make sure you've got this oriented right. Don't put it on upside down. This goes like this. Right in that hole. Let that set for just a little bit so it gets sticky, so then as you're moving on to the next step, everything is good. Now, the tires for these will eventually go on to here. So you want to make sure that this is good and straight. You know, it's going to be, you want it rock solid, you want it well glued on there. So I'm going to put that there for now. While I'm waiting for that to dry, so to speak, I'm going to take this and you orient it with the holes going this way, just like in the instructions. It's like so. And then from what I can see, so you got your two little dots on the bottom that go in there. These two connecting points on here appear to go toward the front. I'm not 100% sure on that, but aside from those two dots, everything else is symmetrical. I was looking on here for some sort of other positive I don't know what to say. See, going like this right now, this doesn't want to go in the hole here, but it does go in the hole that way. I want to say that that's correct, but that's the opposite of how I put this one together. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm grunting. It sure looks right here like it's got the two points, and the problem is that I can't just flip the instructions over right now. It's not that easy. And everything else over here shows the side. Well, the sides are pretty much the same. Unless you could see from the front or the back that they have pegs, but they're not really supporting giving you that information. And it's possible, doesn't matter. I haven't gone on to that step yet. So while I'm waiting for that, you know what? I'm just going to do it this way. After I'm done with doing these parts and I do the other ones, I will have an answer, and then I will let you know. But for right now, I'm going to say that you want it to go with the two little points pointing away from that the angle piece up here. I'm going to call it outside, pointed outside like this, because eventually it does this ends up being attached to the main frame. But I can't say that's for sure at this second. So that's done. Next, what I want to do is the same sort of thing as what I did with this, is to get these to glue together. However, I found that I put the glue on and then put this piece in, and this piece goes in pretty specifically. You have to have the circle with the little notch, not the bottom without the notch. You have to have it pointed up. My understanding is this becomes the key for mounting this to the bottom of the deck, right in here in these spots. So you have to make sure that you put these pieces in the correct way, or you're not going to get that key at least. How much of a problem would that be? I am not 100% sure, but that's just the key point looking at this. So when I'm putting this together, rather than getting that, now it says that you know, no cement, but it doesn't say no cement for this part right here. So just to be certain, I'm just pointing that to the rear, like so, in case some cement gets in there. Kind of trying to stay away from it. I'm just putting it in the areas like that. Now with it, you take this and if you'll notice right here, so technically this is P24 on this side. You've got this over this way. You put you lose the part is what you do. You put the foot part in there, and you put the top, which is still gluing, in there, like so. Now, the one thing I do like about this is that makes this more solid. Now, I gotta find that part quick. Wherever that little notched part went, I'm gonna dig one out instead. Spare. Find that later. Like I said, I don't want to take up a lot of time with this. Put that in there. Make sure that's oriented right. There we go. Now I've got this to hold on to. I gotta reapply. I would have already put the parts together, but I had to. And then I gotta be real careful where I put the glue. I don't want to screw this up, and you'll see why. Now we got that. Now we can put the other side on. And this goes on a lot easier. Clamp it together nice and tight, like so. Again, with this up here, I'm going to make sure that it's pointing pretty much straight back, just to make sure that if there's any issue with that, it's not a problem later on. Get some glue in those seams. Get that gluing up really nice. Now the nice part about all this, there, I've got it squishing together really nice, is the next part here. I'm skipping this part. Don't do this yet. Go up here to do them. Is that you put some glue in there. That's a nice round depression, and this is the key. There's the nub. You put that in, and now you've got something that is gluing solidly to both pieces of that. That'll help hold that together. That is nice. That's going to help hold it all together in a much more secure fashion. And that's what I'm worried about with these pieces, is that you don't get enough glue on here or enough surface area, and all of a sudden you're hurting with no gluable surface area, I guess. Now over in there, it shows this in this direction. And this gluing on like so. So, in the up direction, if you will, you've got the hole pointing towards the top. Little glue done there. And finally, that part that I skipped, and I just did that so I wasn't going to whack it with my hand while I was doing those other pieces, is right here. Get some glue in there. and it's just a slight friction fit. As the glue is slowly working on it, it makes it better for fitting, and what you want is to just square it up nicely so that it fits in there like it's one piece. And you saw that, you can see that there's an angle on the end of this piece when you put it in, so it fits it a certain way, just like that basically. And when you're done, it'll look just like that. Here's the other one I did. Like I said, this one I put the two nubs towards the inside, this one is the two nubs on the outside. While we now have nothing on top of the instructions really, let's take a look and see what the other part has for this. So the two wires go to the inside. I was incorrect in that. You can see right there that the wiring hooks up to the cylinder for this right here. So since I just put this on to fix it, thank goodness, I can just flip it around and put it in place. Easier said than done, but I got it right there. There we go. Right there. So when you're putting it on, even if it's a little too hard to put the pins on at first, make sure that the pins going from this down in here, make sure that you make it so that those pins on the front are going towards the trailer support. You know, it's really hard to figure out what the heck to call this. It's not a landing gear. It's not an axle. It's a wheel collection, you know, a wheel cluster. So, because they are supposed to move independent with the trailer so that you can take tighter turns with them. Anyways, this is now correct. And again, as I said, you wire off of that and all the way around. Here's all your diagrams. This is going to be, again, another level of intent. Didn't mean to step ahead, but so we'll keep working away at that, getting this done, and I'll see you for the wiring section.